Former
Yes.
neighbor Elon Musk, who's now settled in Texas, when he's not SpaceX and Tesla and all that. In my rule of three, what is your personal brand? I mean, a brand is definitely not a logo on your chest. It's beyond a flag. It's beyond the icon. What comes to mind when people think about Kenneth, when people think about Khartoum, when people think about James or Abel or others that are joining in? What comes to mind? Because when we think Steve Jobs, we're thinking Apple, you see? And the brand can go on and on and on. But it's not necessarily the logo, but it's more like the life's work. It's more like the passion. It's more like, there's a Latin word called the magnum opus, meaning what is that thing that you did or you keep doing that only you can do it with that X factor, whether we realize it or not. Every post, every comment, every reaction is building into that what we will be known for. So brand positioning through LinkedIn, through amplifying that interconnectivity is very important. Let me break it down. While on branding. Some of you may be following soccer, but remember, social media is bigger than LinkedIn. But how many of you are aware that if I look at my other machine here, Elon Musk is way bigger in his branding and his positioning? My former neighbor, by the way, from Pretoria. My former neighbor, Elon Musk, who's now settled in Texas. When he's not SpaceX and Tesla and all that, he's actually a rancher. It's interesting how I began my life as a farmer, looking after cattle, and I watched him take off. About 4 years after I was born, he took off. And later on, he is now looking after cattle in between his other responsibilities. Me, on the other hand, I'm not looking after cattle that much. So it's interesting. But quick point on brand. He has a followership of 75 million on the other platform, Twitter. Whereas one of his entities, I believe it's SpaceX, only has 20 million. I'm going to tell you what the point of that is. And when you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, who's one of the, one of the most familiar soccer faces, he's got 406 million followers on Instagram alone. I think on Twitter, he's approaching 100 million. But his club at the moment, Manchester, only has a modest 55 million. What is the point that I'm making here? The point is, we live in an interconnected society that seeks more to connect with the person more than it seeks to connect with the logo on the building. More than it seeks to connect, the community seeks to connect with the person, the human story, and the human ideology and philosophy, and the human relatability. People are tired of maybe connecting to companies that are impersonal. So keep that in mind. The purpose of LinkedIn is to really lower the walls and bring the person out, so that people can know the visionary behind the vision. People can know the brand behind the corporation or the movement. Last but not least, this one we almost forget it. We are here to learn, We are here to learn whether professional